Joining us now to discuss this and more, member of the Committee on Financial Services, Texas Congressman Pete Sessions. Welcome, Congressman. So great to have you.
Good morning.
So tell us more about this bill.
There are some 1,800 biotech companies that are forming themselves in this country, and we have found out that through a series of, and not just investigations, but feedback that we received in hearings at financial services, that these biotech companies are spending about 40% of their IPO, initial public offering money, simply to go through the hoops of registering through the Securities and Exchange Commission and other legal matters. It is very expensive. And so the reason why these people were in business was to bring creative ideas, to solve problems, and to keep America in the lead. This is a race that we have against China, and China funds their own biotech companies. And so what we're trying to do is to put a fund together where the government would actually be a part of their initial public offering, or as they move forward through that, to make sure that these companies make it. It is a race against China. It is a national security issue. And so we're putting together what would be a fund that then the rules and regulations behind that would become available to those IPOs to where they could get some seed money to begin and start that process. Secondly, we're also looking at why the costs are so high and how we can streamline those. It is a matter of American biotech competing not just against the world, but winning the race against China.
Well, thank you for your leadership in that space. But turning now to a big story out of your state. In the face of rising left-wing violence, Texas senatorial candidate, Democratic Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett issued this challenge, and the GOP responded. Take a listen.
I challenge somebody to go and find a clip of a Democrat invoking violence.
Let's extinguish him for good.
I will go and take Trump out tonight.
We're going to fight it in the courts, and we're going to fight it in the streets.
When they go low, we're going to bury them below the Capitol. That's what we're going to do.
We take them to the mud and choke them out.
You know, there needs to be unrest in the streets for as long as there's unrest in our lives.
I just don't even know why there aren't uprisings all over the country. Maybe there will be.
We're walking down a damn different path. We're fighting fire with fire, and we're going to punch these sons of in the mouth.
I take him behind the gym and beat the hell out of him.
Wow. It goes on like that for about 2 more minutes. What's your reaction to that ad?
Well, my reaction is that what Ms. Crockett is trying to say is that she wants to be a fighter on behalf of the Democrat Party. She wants to distinguish herself simply as someone that does not have policy answers, nor answers to the biggest problems, but to hide behind her desire to fight. And this is why Ted Cruz won last time by 1 million votes, except that what Ms. Crockett stands for, just like the Democrat who ran just last November, Colin Allred, lost by 1 million votes. They want to keep things dirty, they want to keep things messy, and they want to act like they can fight. But along the way, they have an agenda where they're more interested in men being in women's bathrooms, they're more interested in raising taxes and keeping an open border. So as we look at what she brings along, she does not want to tout anymore her ideas that she stands for. So that will be up to John Cornyn to do, and he'll be very adequate at it.
Yeah, I think a lot of the Republicans are hoping that she ends up being the candidate. But shifting gears here, the Senate is set to take a test vote on competing Democrat and Republican health care bills. Both require 60 votes to pass, and both are expected to fail. House Speaker Mike Johnson promises a separate House bill and said this about the Democrats. Let's listen.
They broke the American health care system. They caused premiums to skyrocket, and now they have the audacity to tell Republicans that the only way to save it is to throw hundreds of billions of dollars to health insurance companies, which would merely fuel a system that is rife with fraud, waste, and abuse. You cannot be an arsonist and a firefighter at the same time.
What are you expecting to happen, Congressman?
Well, as you've already suggested, it has a 60-vote threshold, just as it did for making sure we funded the government. And this same matter will be an issue at the end of January to refund the rest of the government. But let's go to the point. The point is my party, I'm a conservative Republican, needs to take up the mantle of fixing this for 120 million Americans. We're hung up on 20 million who receive literally free and this huge subsidy for the ACA, the Affordable Care Act. But in that process, we have to worry about people who are small business owners, people who are real estate agents, people who are lawyers, small business people who get none of the support necessary to purchase their health care. So if we want to reduce costs, we will find a way to give to everyone, that is across the board. Not at the ACA, we're already doing that, with the same subsidy that I receive as a member of Congress, that people who work for an employer-provided health care, and that is simple. That is the ability to buy their health care on a pre-tax basis. It means that if you're in the 25th percentile to pay taxes, then you get your health care 25% cheaper. This is a opportunity for my party to step up to the plate, understand where we have 120 million Americans that need the opportunity to have health care, just like members of Congress.
Thank you so much, Congressman Pete Sessions, for joining us this morning, imparting your knowledge and your effort, and most of all, your leadership.
Thank you.
Thank you, Congressman.